Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today, and I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. As always, we're looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. Today's guest is going to be very interesting. We're going to talk to a public relations representative. Do you have any idea what that is? Well, neither do I, so let's find out. Let me introduce our next guest, the one, the only, the amazing Heather Rodman.
Hello, thank you for having me today.
No problem. Okay, so you are listed as a public relations representative. Can you explain exactly what do you do?
So what I do is I work for a company called Human Consciousness Support, and the CEO, owner, and the founder of the company, he needs somebody specifically to help him actually get on podcast interviews and magazine publication interviews. And so that's what I do. So he doesn't, obviously, as the owner of the company, has no time to do it for himself. So that's why a lot of companies have public relations representatives.
So you're basically representing a company to the direct public, right?
Yes, I am the face of the company.
So what type of stuff do you have to do?
So I have to do a lot of email work because I have to get in contact with different, do a lot of research, find different publications that might be interested in interviewing him, as well as podcasters. So I'm on different podcast sites where they're looking for people to interview, and then I send him his biography.
Okay. Now, what got you interested in the work of public relations, and why is it about MasterPeace that captured your interest?
Well, I started with MasterPeace as a public relations representative 6 months ago, and it was actually an interesting story. It kind of the opportunity kind of fell on my lap. I actually wasn't looking for that opportunity because, as you know, I'm a color therapist as well, and I've been that for 3 years. But I actually was watching a podcast show where he was being interviewed, and I was very interested in his product. So I ordered it and then joined his Facebook group and had mentioned that I was a color practitioner. And then next thing I know, he's messaging me directly and asking me if I would be interested in being his public relations representative and how much he knew about color therapy and enjoys color therapy.
So how long have you been doing this?
I have been a public relations representative for 6 months.
Wow. Okay, so the product itself improves your health in some way, I'm sure, but what are the improvements?
So the biggest thing that people say that it improves, and that's a lot of it on the testimonial Facebook group, and even for myself taking it, is the first thing you notice within, depends on the person, but within maybe 2 days to 7 weeks, you're going to start noticing deep sleep and vivid dreams. So you get a very good quality, restful, deep sleep. And that is what people always talk about and why they love taking MasterPeace.
Okay, now I want to get this clear. There's better sleep quality here. I might like this, but I hear that it removes toxins from the body. Well, how does it do that?
So actually the main thing that MasterPeace actually does is remove toxins. So what it does, it is the owner and founder of the company partnered up with the founder of nanotech, which is a cellular type technology out of Kansas State University. And together they created a nanocellular product that can go really deep on a cellular level to remove the forever toxins and forever chemicals from our bodies in a natural, subtle way. And one of the effects of it, of course, is having a deeper sleep.
Okay. Now here seems like a good time to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut, that's a wrap. Just use that.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And you're back here talking with Heather Rodman. Heather's a public relations representative for MasterPeace, and she also shows people how colors can help you feel better. Okay, Heather, I gotta hear this. Tell me, how in the world do colors help me feel better?
So, color therapy has been around for centuries, way back actually in the ancient Egyptian times. The Egyptians would use color therapy, and it is actually very big in UK, in the United Kingdom. It's just not as well known here in North America, but it is making a comeback slowly but surely, as there's so many therapeutic benefits to color therapy. So basically, our eyes can our eyes feel the colors that we look at in the world every day and we experience in our sensory level. And so that's the therapeutic effects. And with color therapy, I will go into the different types of ways you can get color therapy in your life.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite color and why?
Oh, wow. You know what? My favorite color is turquoise. So turquoise, as everyone knows, is a little bit of blue and green. And I like turquoise because it reminds me of the ocean. And I always love the ocean and the therapeutic effects of the turquoise color.
Okay. So, I like purple and sometimes pink. So, does that tell you anything about me?
Yes, actually, with purple, it tells me that you're very creative. So people who resonate with purple are very creative people. And pink has to actually is the heart chakra. So that means you have probably a lot of love to give to the world. And as a podcaster, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, so pink has to do with your heart chakra.
Huh. So, how does this all make the world a better place?
So I live here in Canada, and half the year here is winter. And so we get a lot of gloomy days and we don't get a lot of sunshine. So when you incorporate color bath, for instance, I will give an example. So I have a green color bath, and green is very calming and soothing. And I'll show the bottle. This is it to show it what it looks like in the bottle. So this would look like in your bathtub. And this is actually the green color bath. So you'd only need, this one bottle will actually equal 3 baths. So one of the best ways to get color therapy in your life, and this is wonderful for children and adults alike, but this is great for attention deficit disorder and autism and everything, but is having color baths. Very, very therapeutic and very healing.
Okay, that makes sense. So, it says in your bio that this can help mentally and emotionally. How so?
So there is a lot of clinical studies that back how color therapy helps with autism, ADHD, depression, anxiety. Now, the colors that are recommended for that the clinical studies have proven to show that help with those issues is greens, blues, pastels. You don't want the reds or the oranges. Those are too stimulating. So I never recommend them for children as well.
Okay. So, what's the best part about doing this job?
The best part, I do in person. So not only do I work from home, but I get a chance to actually be out in public. And I do a lot of workshops at the local community library with the mothers and fathers and children on color bath. And so the best part is actually talking about it and being in person, and the children get to try it out, and then they get to discover what color resonates with them, what they connect with. So I love how I can help people through color therapy through the workshops that I do here locally.
So is there like an age limit on when you can do color therapy?
No, it's not. There's no age limit. Color bath, for instance, is all organic. It doesn't stain your bathtub. It's all vegetable grade. So you could start color therapy as a little baby if you'd like.
So what are the main benefits of doing color therapy?
So color therapy is going to overall bring more therapeutic. It's a form of alternative medicine. Color therapy has been around forever, and that was actually in my schooling years ago. And I myself have noticed major benefits of practicing color therapy on a regular basis in my life. And it's for me, it's the more calming and soothing component, especially to help with, let's say, stress. If you have stress in your life from your work as a PR rep.
Okay, so how long does it take to learn to be a color therapist?
So I took a course out of the UK, United Kingdom, because it's very big there. So there's lots of different color therapy courses that you can find there. But usually it's a 1 year intensive course, and it's a diploma, a 2-year diploma program that you can take online.
Ah, so how can you make someone happy? Like, what color would it be?
I would say yellow, because yellow is to do with mental and focus. Yellow can be a very happy color for a lot of people. And I would say probably yellow too. Sorry, yellow and purple, because purple's violet and it's creativity, and that makes people very happy as well.
So is this just like a way for adults to act like kids again?
It definitely is a way to bring out the inner child for adults. I definitely find that as adults, we get too busy forgetting to just have fun and let our inner child come out and play. And wonderful thing to do with your children as well.
Now, does it take a lot of training to be able to be a public relations representative?
Well, another reason why I got this role, when he had reached out to me, yes, he knew I did color therapy, but I had mentioned in conversation that I actually had 20 years before I was a color therapist. I was actually an outside sales rep for 20 years. So I had an
Ah,
extensive background in outside sales as well as marketing.
I
And because of
see.
my background, I was able to easily go into this public relations role, because you do need a lot of sales and you need a lot of marketing. So that's what you would need for a public relationships representative.
I see. So what's the hardest part about doing this type of work?
I think the hardest part is trying to keep up with your emails, because you're in communications with a lot of different businesses and organizations, and owners and different contacts. And I find that you really have to keep on top of your email and be organized so that you're getting back to people in an efficient way. So I find that that's very important to me, because that shows a lot in professionalism when you get back to customers straight away.
Okay. So which job is more fun, being a PR rep or teaching color therapy?
It's funny. They're so different in different ways. I find they both give me different things that the other one doesn't give. So as a PR representative, I find that it gives me my sales background. So it lets me be able to use those tools and enjoy my sales going. And with color therapy, it it lets me talk about my love of alternative medicine and color therapy through, and color therapy is also related to chakra work. So I love being able to help others feel better. So I love that about the color therapy part.
Okay. So what's the most understood about your business?
I think the most misunderstood thing is that a lot of people think as a PR rep that it doesn't involve a lot of work and in detail, but it does, and it can be very demanding. I think a lot of people confuse it with other, they just lack of unawareness of what the role really actually entails. Um, and with color therapy, I think it's more that people will say to me, well, what's color therapy? Like, I don't know what that is. And so a lot of it's educational for me. I just have to educate, and they come to a workshop,
I
and
see.
speak with them there. And it just opens their eyes to a whole new world that they never even knew about this form of alternative medicine.
Okay, so what's the craziest thing that has happened while you were doing your passion?
Oh, wow. I think the craziest thing that happened to me was that I had a customer who was she had a child that was 8 years old, had never slept through the night.
Oh
And I
goodness.
had sent her a sample of, she had a nice big social media channel. And I said, well, in exchange, if you don't mind doing a nice social media video of the color bath, that would be great. So I sent her blue because she had said her child can't sleep through the night. So I sent her blue color bath.
Hmm.
And then within 2 days after receiving it, she said to me, oh my goodness, I gave my child the color bath that night. And it was the first time in 8 years he slept through the night.
Jeez. Wow. Well, if you had to pick a different job or vocation, what would you do?
You know what? I think it would be going back to what I used to do as an outside sales rep for 20 years. But why I retired that was because I was on the road and I never got to
Mm,
be at home, and I was living out of a hotel in a briefcase. And after 20 years, you get pretty exhausted and you want a little
yeah.
bit more balance in your life.
What is the story of that one client that you will never forget?
I think the one client I will never get is a person that I had come across who had was letting me know that they had dyslexia.
Mm,
And dyslexia is something there people have a hard time writing their words properly and even concentration. And so I had said to her, you know what? I have an extra pair of yellow color therapy glasses because yellow
mm,
helps with dyslexia and concentration. I said, you know what? Give it a try for 2 weeks and at least wear the glasses 15 minutes a day and let me know if that's helped you improve at all with your dyslexia. And she came back and told me,
mm.
my goodness, she goes, I can focus now. I can concentrate. I even can concentrate and learn to write better when I'm writing. And I was really, really happy. So those are the kind of things I like to hear from feedback from customers.
Okay. Who can you say was the person that helped drive your passion the most?
I would say actually my father. I was I was in my early 20s and I wasn't really quite sure what I would be good at. And my dad said to me, you know what, Heather, I think there's two different careers that you would be good at. And I said, well, what do you think? He goes, a saleswoman, an outside sales rep, or an actress? And I
Mm,
laughed and I said, oh, that's funny. Well, I said, I'm not interested in being an actress, but you know what? I actually would really like to learn more about becoming an outside sales rep. So at the age of 26, I started my sales career as an outside sales rep. And I never realized it was, you had to, some people just have the talent for it and others do
mm,
not. So you definitely have to know what you're doing.
okay. So, what advice do you give to my listeners if they wanted to grow up and be a color therapist or a public relations representative?
I would say that it's never too late because I started this transition at the age of 49 years old. And people always say, oh, it's too late for me to start a new career. I said, no, think about what your passion is, think about what you enjoy and do it. So, uh, for color therapy, it's easy to attain online if you're doing another job and just do it on the side and do the correspondence when you have time. They have the different interval courses to do, and they give you plenty of time to get the course completed. And as a
Mm,
PR representative, they do have courses and programs at colleges and school if you don't have any previous sales or marketing background that you can do as well. And they're both very exciting, different modalities that are definitely in demand. So I highly recommend people maybe do some research and look into it if they're looking for a new passion in their life.
what is the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I ever received was actually, again, from my father. I definitely looked up to my father in my life, but he said, go for your dreams and never let anybody ever tell you you can't do your dreams. And I've always listened to that, always listened to my heart and my soul and follow your passion. He always said, follow your passion, because if you follow your passion in your career, you're going to love what you do.
Okay. Well, what message do you want to tell children all over the world about doing the work that you do?
I would tell children around the world that to experiment as much as you can and even if you think it's something that it couldn't be a career, you might be pleasantly surprised, because my oldest daughter went through the same thing years ago and said, Mom, I don't know what I want to do as a career. And I said, well, you know what you're good at? You're good at making movies. And she ended up working in the movie industry. So you just
Ah.
never know.
Okay. Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we are back here with Public Relations Representative Heather Rodman. Heather, what is your favorite part of your day?
I'd say the favorite part of my day is when I have appointments booked to leave the house and just break things up for my day and get to be face to face with people.
Okay. If you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
If I could go back 10 years, I would say to myself, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. You don't have to be a perfectionist, because we all make mistakes and that's how we learn.
Okay. Now, what was the biggest mistake that you've ever made? And how did it change you as a person?
I think the biggest mistake I ever made when I was younger, and I didn't become outside sales rep until I was 26. So there was a few years there where I was still figuring out what I wanted to do as a profession. And I would listen to others tell me what they thought I should be or what I should do. And that includes other relatives. And so my advice is to always listen to your intuition, what you feel is right for you. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who is going to be doing that job. So I wouldn't recommend listening to others when it comes to your career path.
So, when you're not working, what do you do for fun?
Oh, wow. Well, I like to do yoga. And the reason why I like to do yoga is for meditation, to keep calm. It definitely helps. It's very soothing and relaxing, and it's a very holistic practice. But I also, now with the nice summer weather here in Canada, I love to go outside and be on nature walks and be in nature and swimming.
Okay. So, do you play video games?
I don't play any video games, but when I was younger, I used to love Atari. I had an Atari and I loved Pac-Man.
Ah, okay. So, what's your favorite book to read then?
Well, right now, my favorite book is called In Spirit, and it is about getting in tune with your spiritual self and connecting with nature, and ways you can connect with nature spiritually.
I see. So, okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show. That one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
Oh, wow. Okay. So as a child, my father used to always say that I had a lot of hyperactivity. He definitely said back in those days, they didn't have diagnosis for the way they do now, but I definitely had ADHD, he was telling me. So in JK, senior kindergarten and grade 1, I had the same teacher. And unfortunately, she would ask me a question, Heather, what's, 2 plus 2? And I wouldn't answer. And this, she always had to ask me, and I always didn't answer. So she ended up putting me in the corner until I would, participate in class. But these were the old days, and this is how it was in terms of the disciplining a child who wasn't paying attention and listening.
Ah, okay. So, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you?
Just that if they want to learn more about color energy, they can find me on YouTube at Color Energy Shop, and I am more the answer to answer any of their questions. I have even a quiz and a questionnaire that they can do if they would like to learn more about what color is for them and what color bath should I start out with. So yes, I can help them with that. And with MasterPeace, the YouTube channel is called MasterPeace Human Consciousness Support. And if they would like to learn anything more there about getting a deeper, more restful sleep, they can find me there as well.
Well, do you have a Facebook or a website for my listeners who want to follow you?
Yes, my website for Color Energy is linktr.ee/Color Energy Shop. And for MasterPeace, it is also linktr.ee, Human Consciousness Support.
So, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
I guess whereabouts do I live?
Canada, right?
Yes, yeah, Northern Ontario specifically, which is way up north with the wilderness.
Okay, well, thank you, Heather, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Yes, definitely.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And thank you, Heather, for helping me with Math Corners. This week, we're going to do some more multi-step word problems. My dad is always going to find new problems for me to solve. And today, we're going to talk about colors in cars and probability. Well, a car dealership has been keeping detailed records of the colors of cars sold during the current year. This chart shows the probabilities for each color. So, the colors of cars sold are silver, which is 23%, white is 18% of the cars, and black is 15% of the cars. And other cars, like other colors like hot pink, purple, all that stuff, was 44%. Now, what is the probability that a customer would purchase a silver or white car?
50%?
Wrong, but I'll go ahead and explain it for you. Well, first, this is a real-world problem because, well, I do love cars and colors of them. So, to solve this, you have to figure out what the customer wants to purchase. And in this case, they might want a silver or white car. So, it's 23 plus 18%, which is 41%. Then to make sure your answer is right, you add the other percentages and see that it equals 100%. So, the answer is 41% of the cars. You were close, though.
That's close.
So, Heather, did you ever go to the car dealership and buy a car?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. The last car, I've had it for 3 years now. And it's always fun to go to the dealership to figure out what kind of car you want and what color.
Well, what is the color?
Actually, it's silver. My car is silver.
Ah, okay. Well, my teacher said that I would use math every day. How do you use math in your work?
Oh, wow. I have to use math when I'm looking at the back office, the MasterPeace back office as a public relations representative. I have to look at the analytics, and the analytics will tell me where people are coming from who find MasterPeace. For example, YouTube channel, it might be 20%, or Facebook, it might be 30%, or Google might be 50%. So it will tell me in what countries, percentage-wise, are seeing the website. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Heather, for your help with Math Corners.
Oh, thank you so much.
And now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about integrity. For me, I think integrity is doing what is right, even when no one else is looking. The qualities of integrity is honesty, sincerity, truthfulness, and fairness. Well, I was at a state bowling tournament this past weekend, and it was so much fun. I did very well, and I can't wait to bowl next year. Now, you might be asking, how this goes with integrity? Well, one time, all the parents were called to have a meeting, and I ended up being there alone with my teammates. And we just kept on going bowling and cheer each other on. Even though we could have played around and gotten into trouble, we all behaved and continued our games. I ended up with a 245, so that was a lot of fun. So, Heather, did you see or use integrity at all this week?
Oh, yes. I always use my integrity because I have to make the right decisions based on honesty and truth. And that's how I use integrity in my work. And if someone wants to maybe fast track something, I will say, no, that's not the right decision for our company because we stand on the foundation of integrity with human consciousness support.
Okay. Well, of all the Heart of the Lion virtues, which is the one that you see the most?
I would say courage. Very courageous. People always say that I have the heart of lion, and actually I'm born in August, so I'm actually a Leo too. So I would say courage is my biggest trait. Courage is a very important one for integrity.
But we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
Yes.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Heather Rodman for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking with you today, and I think we learned a lot about being a public relations representative and becoming happy when looking at the color yellow.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Do you mind giving your social media and website again?
Yes. So on Instagram, if you you can find me on Color Energy Shop, and it is spelled COLOUR, not COLOR. So Color, COLOUR, that is the Canadian version of color. So Color Energy Shop on Instagram.
Okay. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And I would like to thank WWPR 1490 AM, KNT 98, Soul Radio 24/7, Eastway TV, and all the other stations that air my show. Please be sure to visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. So, Heather, are you subscribed yet?
Yes, I am.
Good. Oh, and be sure to leave a comment on what your favorite video is. I love finding which job you might want to try when you grow up. Also, be sure to listen to us next week on The Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.